What's up, guys? It's Nofsky with Academia Audio, and today I'm going to show you how I made this.
Everybody get on the floor, crank the party up, we about to get it on. Let me see ya, 1, 2 step, I love it when you 1, 2 step. Everybody, 1, 2 step, we about to get it on. Outrageous, so contagious, make you crave it. Jazzy made it. So retarded, top charted, ever since the day I started. Strut my stuff and yes, I flaunt it. Goodies make the boys jump on it. No, I can't control myself now. Let me do my 1, 2 step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. Crank the party up. We about to
Alright, guys, so that was a tech house song I made in the style of ACRAZE. And there are a few things that I feel sets him apart as an artist. Before I dive into that, I do want to point out I did make this song a while ago when ACRAZE's song Do It Too. It was really popping off on all the platforms, and I did notice recently Moonboy came out with a tutorial of a similar tech house style song utilizing the same vocals, the 1-2 step by Sierra, and it was incredible, and it's an awesome video, and if you guys haven't, definitely go check that out. So the first thing that I noticed about the ACRAZE tech house style was he utilized the old school hip hop vocal, which I think is incredibly brilliant, because anytime you're at a live show and your jam came on from back in high school, you just automatically want to sing along, dance. It brings up a lot of memories from when you used to jam the original song back in the day, and I just think that really sets it apart. And also, just rap and hip hop vocals go so well with EDM, whether it's dubstep or house or mid-tempo or trap or whatever you're doing. It's a solid win. You can never go wrong utilizing a hip hop or R&B style vocal. The second thing I noticed was also his style of bass. When I went to recreate the bass that I was hearing in his song Do It To It, I noticed that it was more of an 808 style bass, and we're going to dive into that, and I'll show you exactly how I recreated that. So as far as the bass bus is concerned, I am only utilizing one layer, and this is the bass I came up with. Pretty simple. I am just using the basic shape tables. I have a basic shape here on the sine wave. I have a basic shape here on the sine wave, 1 octave higher. I do have a little bit of bend going on, but I am actually not using it. I think I was just trying to kind of give a different tonality to the sound, and I wasn't vibing with it, so I just left it off. Next, I do have the noise over here on one of the kick noises, just under attack kicks right there, the first one, and I just have that low just to give it that thump that the 808s have at the beginning. I do have a little automation going on from LFO1, just manipulating the volume here and then the volume of the second oscillator, and then also the noise level. And that is pretty much the sound. I am using the release knob here just to kind of give it that more long 808 feel, how it drags out a little bit instead of being more staccato like a normal sub bass. As far as effects go, I have a little bit of distortion on the hard clip setting. I have the knob at drive at 25%, 100 on the mix. I do have a little EQ, and I was just boosting the sub frequency in this section, and then just a little bit of compression, and that pretty much wraps up the serum preset. Next, the serum distortion wasn't really doing it for me, so I went ahead and threw on some decapitator on the beefy preset, and then I put it on the E style, and I just felt it gave a really good characteristic to the sound, and then I finished off with a little bit of compression. And that is the whole bass, and this is what it sounds like. Next, I want to tackle the drums because I feel the relationship between the bass line and the kick is really unique. And I also noticed this in ACRAZE's song Do It To It. It almost sounds like there's another kick kind of hitting like boom, 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 boom. But instead, it's actually the kick from the hit of the 808 in the sub. And so if I just play the kick for you, or the drums on its own, it's just your classic 4 on the floor, tech house, boots and cats groove. But then when I add in the bass with that, it just gives it a really funky groove. This is what it sounds like together. So, as you're creating your bass lines, just keep that in mind. You can do a lot of really unique things when you're thinking about the drums while you're creating your bass line to kind of give it that relationship of back and forth and just a really, really cool groove. As far as the drums go, nothing really unique going on with the kick, snare, and hi hats, but I do have a few samples down here that I feel really make this drum groove unique. And for starters, it's this Oliver percussion loop I'm using, and this is what it sounds like. It just has a really unique texture. It's not your classic percussion groove. It's just almost like a clock ticking, and then that going on with this perk I have. I feel makes that section really cool because if you think about the structure of the song, you have the call and then response. So the call is here and here's the response. And I've noticed in a lot of other like tech house songs or artists like Fisher or Side Piece, a lot of times they'll have a synth go and then you'll have kind of like a breather section. Where it's just the drums and the bass line, and then you'll have the synth, drums, and bass line. And I do that later on in the song, and I can give you guys a sample of that right now. So right there, you can notice that we have a section here where the synth is going womp 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 womp, and then it kind of gives it a breather. The vocals come back in. You have this cool percussion going on, and just as far as structure is concerned, when you're thinking about your drums, that is a really cool way. You don't have to have everything going on at the same time all at once. You can kind of break it up into sections. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the synth bus. So the first thing I have going on is I have this kind of buzz. I called it a buzz stab, whatever you want to call it, but this guy right here. And it's just something really cool to have going in the background. It's almost like a synthetic horn or something. And then I also did layer that with a horn as well. So it's a brass stab from a Kashmir pack. I have it going on here, but then I also reversed it so it'd kind of whip it into there. And this is what that sounds like. And this is them together. And it just gives a really cool effect on the transition periods. You're just kind of letting the listener know, hey, something's about to happen on this part. Next, I do have that synth that came in on the drop that I demonstrated earlier. All that is I took a buzz stab right here. And then I went ahead and rendered it out to audio and then did a little pitch automation. And then I changed up the groove on the second time. So, and that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple lead. I've noticed they do a lot of that kind of stuff in Tech House where they'll have a lead and they'll just repeat a note, but then they'll do a pitch bend where it's kind of wah, 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 wah. Next, as far as effects go, I do have a few things going on throughout the song. Concerning the actual drop, there's not that much, but I will touch on some of these other things. I do have an impact right here. I do have a clap, and this is more of a stadium live clap. And when I did the intro of the song, I kind of wanted it to feel like almost a live performance. So I have this live clap going on, and then I have a crowd roar down here, and all together it just kind of feels like you're there live witnessing and experiencing this song. I also have this weird percussion loop going on. And that's another thing I noticed with the tech house genre. I feel like guys, they'll just kind of cover their eyes and they'll just click on the effects section, and whatever they click on, that's what they use. Just a bunch of weird random effects going on in these songs that actually work somehow. And that's what I was trying to achieve there. I do have some sweeps and risers. I have this guy here. And the reason I chose that riser is it kind of has that old rap, trap, hip hop sound to it, and I felt it went really well with the vocals. I also have this riser here, and this one here. Besides the risers, I do have a few sweeps going on. This is what those sound like. And that pretty much wraps up all the effects. Not a lot going on, just experiment. Definitely you want to have some kind of risers and sweeps just to create that tension and then relieve that pressure. And then other impacts can really help do the same. And then just weird random effects that you can throw in there that you feel work with the track. Just have fun with it. Creating music is all about trial and error. So that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. Again, if you do like the sounds that I use, definitely go check out some of our packs down below. We do have our Exhale Serum preset bank, we do have our Genesis pack, and we also have a textures pack. We also have a free gift for you guys. It's a free template, the template you see me using here. Incredibly powerful. We have a whole video explaining how it's going to help you, why you should download it, and how it's going to take your music to the next level. There's a link down below. Please go watch that. I hope this video inspired you, and I hope you unlocked the secrets to making your next tech house banger. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.
Everybody get on the floor, crank the party up, we about to get it on. Let me see ya, 1, 2 step, I love it when ya 1, 2 step. Everybody, 1, 2 step, we about to get it on. Outrageous, so contagious, make you crave it. Jazzy made it. So retarded.